What's going on, everybody? It's back from another long hiatus with something pretty damn exciting. As you can tell by the title, one of the modders decided to go all out and give us not even probably, they decided to give us one of the biggest mods to date for Cube World. So big that it actually feels like a patch. This is the CubeMegaMod. I will show you how to install it really quick, and then we can kind of, get into the details. So all the links will be in the description for everything, but you just want to go to this first link, which is the GitHub link that'll be in the description. And whatever the latest release is, like right now it's 1.5.0, latest release, you can see that little tag right there. You just want to click on the very top one, which is the DLL, and start downloading that. And of course it's going to say something like, oh, this could harm. Well, who cares? We're keeping it. Then we'll just want to drag that to our desktop, plop that there, and then navigate to wherever your Cube World folder is. This is the usual path right here. I'll just zoom in on that so you guys can see that. That's the usual path to the Cube World folder. In here, you should have a mods folder. If not, you can just right click and go new and make a new folder and name it mods. In there is where you'll drag the DLL. Obviously, I already have it in there, so I don't need to do that. But that's quick rundown on that. And then, of course, you'll need the mod loader. The mod loader goes outside of the mods folder in the normal folder. It'll be this, also, again, link in description. So that's just the quick little tutorial on how to install it right there. Alright, now that that's set up, let's jump in game. We can see all the new features. Also, when you're loading up the game, you should see a little window pop up that displays all of the features in their respective versions, and we're going to be using that list as kind of like our avenue of showcasing all of the features. And quick side note, you can actually disable or re-enable any of these mods with the chat in-game by typing /mod, the number of that mod, which is the little number of it at the start of the feature, and 0 to disable or 1 to re-enable, and then you have to restart your game for it to either disable or re-enable. First up, at ID 1, we've got sea exploration. Have you ever felt like the oceans in release Cube World were kinda lame, not like how they used to be in the alpha? Well, with the CubeMegaMod, any body of water is now more full of life, like a lot more. Going underwater anywhere will trigger the diving event, and numerous fish of all types will begin to spawn near you, and be careful because they will be hostile, so be prepared. If you stay underwater for a full minute, a random new chest will spawn somewhere nearby, and it's actually easy to stay underwater for that long because you no longer lose stamina while you're underwater. There are 4 different types of chests you can find while you're down there. Wood chests have a chance to drop gold, as well as all rarities of gear and consumables like potions. Skull chests will drop gold, and 1 or even 2 pieces of very high level gear. Bone chests will drop pets, even some of them that aren't normally obtainable. And obsidian chests will give you a random artifact. Bosses can also spawn underwater, and some of them are wildly strong, so be sure to be geared up when you're going into the seas. Some of them can have like over 500,000 HP, it's kind of ridiculous. Also, this mod might be a little, like this feature of the mod might be a little underdeveloped still, because some of the fish end up not taking damage, and sometimes if you stay underwater for too long, your game might just freeze like it did for me here. So this is kind of one of the ones I would consider disabling if you want a more stable experience, but it also is very fun to play with. Next up is lore updates, ID 2. Finally, those pointless little interactable things with random text actually have a purpose. Every lore tablet you interact with that you have less than 100% lore with has up to 50% chance to drop you basic gear. If you have more than 100%, but less than 150%, you have an up to 50% chance to receive 2 or 3 star gear. And finally, when you have more than 150% lore with any given specific tablets, you have an up to 100% chance to receive an artifact, which is quite frankly pretty nuts, and finally, looking at those lore tablets actually has a purpose. Moving on to the combat changes at ID 3, we have a couple neat and useful things that you can use while you're just in the middle of a skirmish. When you press 1 on your keyboard, it will convert all of your available mana into stamina, allowing for more dodge rolling and middle click ability usage. Pressing 2 on your keyboard will consume 50 of your combo and grant you a full heal, which is very powerful in a tight combat scenario. And lastly, if you have the double tap function active, double tapping W, A, or D will consume 75 stamina to dash in whatever direction you double tapped, and double tapping S will do a quick swipe in front of you that will attack everything in front of you. If, like me, you double tap the keys all the time out of habit, I would honestly recommend disabling this by typing /disable double tap in the chat. And if you have double tap disabled, you can still press left control and WASD to get the same result as you would double tapping them. The next feature at ID 4 is the creature updates, which affects specific types of enemies and pets. Pets are receiving some love in the form of a 50% buff to all stats. They will all attack quite a bit faster and hit a bit harder while having some more HP to last longer in fights. Enemies, on the other hand, are seeing some well-needed nerfs. Enemies with boomerangs and mage-type enemies have had their damage cut in half, making them much less of a threat, and finally no more being melted in an instant by, a couple boomerang enemies or some mages' laser beams without any time to react. And to wrap this one up, just a little nice quality of life feature for new characters. You spawn with some more starting gold to help you get through your first region. I believe it's 40 gold. This feature will be moved to one of the other ones in a future update, but for now it's in this feature. Now, quite possibly one of my favorite features of this mod is ID number 5, the shop updates. Item vendors in towns will now sell all of the movement items for 75 gold, as well as a new type of special item, the Void Stone. You can buy it for 50 gold, and it makes you deal double damage to demon-type enemies. It's actually really exciting being able to buy all of the movement items, because now, going to a new region, you instantly feel the speed upgrades that you get from stacking multiple of the same artifacts. So now you can go to a new region, get your hang glider and your reins and your bow all in one in the shop, and then you can just go explore that new region twice as quickly, which makes it very nice. And last but certainly not least, spirit cubes are back. Item vendors will now sell a random amount and type of spirit cubes per day for 25 gold each. For those of you that aren't aware, in the alpha of Cube World, there were little cubes you could get that you could attach to your weapons on the customization bench. Each spirit cube has their own effect. Wind grants you attack and move speed on hit. Fire deals more damage on hit. Unholy grants you lifesteal on hit, and Ice slows the attack and move speed of enemies on hit. And we actually aren't even done with this feature yet. In addition to the general store selling all of those things, gem traders have been entirely revamped. Funny enough, they don't even actually sell gems anymore. Instead, they sell new types of healing potions with varying strengths, as well as a chance to sell spirit cubes, and to cap it off, gem traders also have the chance to sell a random artifact for 1,000 gold. So now you kind of want to keep your eyes out for those, because if you have the money, you can get a free level just from finding one. And the CubeMegaMod lives up to its name because it just doesn't stop there. Here at ID number 6, we've got the World Gen changes. Starting regions, aka where you first spawn, will now only be picked from the normal temperature regions like the hills, the mountains, the woodlands, and the ocean. So no longer spawning in deserts or fire areas or the poison areas, things like that kind of make it rough for your first experience. And now, all biomes should be closer together to other similar biomes. I know I interchange biomes and regions, they're the same thing. Creating larger land masses of a similar type. So now, all types of regions, the world generation should be fully different to where oceans should be closer to oceans, mountains should be closer to mountains, and so on and so forth. So now you should see some neater world gen going on. And speaking of creating a new character, ID 7, Beginner Mode, is for all my noobs and returning players. The start of the game is a lot more kind for you. Your first 5 levels will be met with scaled down enemies so you can get more into the flow of your character and learn all of your weapon types and how to clear a region more comfortably and things like that. I'll put the scaling up on screen for each of the levels, but once you hit level 5, everything should be what you would normally expect from the game. Continuing on, ID number 8 is probably going to be one of the most enjoyed parts of this mod, I'd say. For all the people who genuinely disliked region locking, good news everyone. Gear is now attuned to the region you find it in, making it have full power in that region obviously, but as you move to adjacent regions and beyond, instead of the weapon or the gear becoming entirely useless, you will now only lose 2 stars of rarity for normal gear and only 1 star for plus gear. Basically, leaving the region you pick up a piece of gear in doesn't make it entirely useless, it just bumps it down a little bit, which actually pairs extremely well with arguably my favorite feature. Our last but certainly not least feature coming in at ID 9, Adaption is back. In towns, at the anvil icon, you can sometimes, I want to stress sometimes, find a new NPC, the Smithy. When you interact with them, a new UI will pop up, allowing you to place any gear you have on inside of it, and you can spend gold to upgrade it. Upgrading a normal weapon or a normal piece of gear will make it a plus piece of gear, and upgrading a plus piece of gear will make it normal again, but it will be the next tier of rarity. And this feature can actually be taken to the extreme with a lot of money, upgrading weapons and armor to be like 10 stars with a plus, granting you actually just disgusting stats. Like, look at this thing that I made here. I mean, that's gross. I mean, I can take that into multiple regions and just dominate them. But, you know, you pairing that up with the new region lock feature, you can just go into any region and do whatever you want, and it rewards you for saving up a lot of money. I truly cannot express to you how exciting this mod is and what it means for the current climate of the game, and the modding scene in general. I'm telling you, try this mod out. It really feels like Wale came back and just breathed some life into the game again. Except, instead of Wale, it was this heckin' cutie right here, Nichiren. Massive shoutouts to him for, first of all, taking the time to make a mod so big and well done it feels like an actual patch to the game, and for being super kind and letting me help him test these features out, and even hearing out all of my ideas that I had for the mod. This is definitely not the last update this mod will receive, so keep an eye out on the GitHub page and the Cube World Discord. I'll throw links in the description for both. And I'm actually still not even done. I have one little thing that I want to talk about still. It is a neat little idea that just kind of came into conception because of Picasso in the Cube World Discord. He took the time to make a full reshade of the game to make it less on the eyes and kind of more how the alpha looked. I'm going to put that in the description as well, and I'm actually going to show you how to quickly install that. It's basically the same as installing the mods. You just want to navigate to wherever your Cube World folder is. Again, the same little pathway here. And again, link in the description. You just go to that link, and then we'll drag that to your desktop, go extract all, and then you just want to open that up, open this up, and then take all of these here and just throw them right in here. And obviously I already have them in here, I'm just going to hit replace. And that's it, you're done. When you're in game, you should notice immediately that it looks different. For me personally, it doesn't look that great. My monitor kind of has some shit colors, but it still looks pretty nice. And if you want to turn it on and off, you can actually just toggle it in-game at any time with the apostrophe or quotation mark key. Alright, and that just about does it for this. Again, I highly, highly recommend you check this out, even if you swore off playing until an update, because this truly does feel like a patch worth of things to play around with. I know my upload schedule is basically non-existent, and I'm not going to make any promises, but I do plan on releasing more Cube World content, including an entire guide on literally everything in the game, and it's taking me a long time to make, so I hope you guys are excited for that. And if Wale decides to pop up and give us some more information on the new game mode, I will be happy to give my insight on that. So consider subscribing if any of that sounds neat to you. I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching. This man truly does not stop. I was literally just getting done uploading the video, and there's already a new damn feature. Now we gotta go look at this one too, damn it. ID number 10. Suffering. Why are there so many features? I don't know. Let's get on to the actual one. ID number 10. Quests. Now, apparently, you can go into the game and type /quest in the chat and receive a little quest that I don't think it matters where it's from. You kill a specific amount of enemies that it tells you to kill. Like here you can see I got 10 chickens and 10 cows. And when you are done finding those enemies and destroying them, you will receive 100 gold. Just a nice little improvement, you know, help you gain a little bit of gold. Really not a huge addition, but also just kind of something more. And that's what this game needs, is just more. So, thanks for making me have to add this, god damn it. I'm not actually mad, but it is just funny that the day that I decided to upload this, there was a patch hours right after I finished uploading the video. But anyway, nothing personal against Nichiren, I just thought it was funny. And I'm being informed by him that he is actually attempting to push an update out for this mod every week. So, obviously, being a person with a busy life and things like that, you know, the holidays and whatnot, happy Easter, by the way, the day I'm recording this, you know, people get busy and things happen in life. So I wouldn't expect it exactly like a robot every week, but you can expect normal, consistent uploads around a week at a time apart, which is very exciting for a mod this big. So again, thank you very much, Nichi, for making all this, and thank you guys for watching. This should now actually be the end of the video, I hope.